Hello everyone. I wanted to say a few words today about self-love tips. And I thought it would be rather useful to give some people a few tips as far as loving the self is concerned in a very practical way. Because when we love ourselves and we actually do practical things to send the message to ourselves that we are lovable, it actually reinforces that feeling of being loved within us. So that's quite cool actually, and it's a lovely feeling because we get to feel nurtured and we get to feel taken care of by ourselves. And so I wanted to give you a few tips today and to highlight the importance of actually pouring self-love into ourselves, not in a narcissistic manner where it is at the expense of other people, but in a very loving and caring manner, which means then that we have lots more love to give other people anyway. So I want to give you a few tips today, and I hope they will help someone out there to be able to love themselves and give themselves permission to receive this self-love into their lives, which is a really important personal development and spiritual development tool to be able to foster. So the first thing to highlight, I think importantly, is to give ourselves permission to receive love. Because some of us, when we were growing up or in our adult years, have received a negative message that it's not okay for us to be loved and to receive love and to give ourselves love. And therefore, it can be quite difficult for some people to be able to give themselves the permission to receive love, either from other people or from themselves. And so, being able to nurture ourselves, which means give ourselves loving care in whatever way we need it, is a really good way to show ourselves love in a very practical way. And that could be in terms of making sure that we have a healthy diet, or that we exercise adequately and safely. Or it could be in terms of not pushing ourselves too much, but that we give ourselves a very balanced lifestyle. And all this is showing ourselves loving, nurturing care. And when we do that, we can feel that love building up within us, which is a really nice feeling. And it's a really good indication that we are feeling loved and taken care of. And in that way, we can self-parent ourselves by giving ourselves the loving, nurturing self-care that we need. Another thing that I think is useful is to self-validate and self-affirm, which means that instead of waiting for other people to compliment us or validate us in some way, that we learn to validate ourselves, which means that we support ourselves and say, you're doing well, and we admire what we are doing. And so we give ourselves affirmation so that we are continually filled up with that self-affirmation, and we are less likely to need that from other people, although it's very nice when we do receive that from other people. But if we are continually needing affirmation and validation from other people, then we are less likely to need it from ourselves. And it can also leave us more vulnerable if we are constantly looking outside of ourselves for affirmation and self-love. So that's quite a good tip to remember, to regularly affirm ourselves and what we are doing, and give ourselves a pat on the back every now and again and say, well done. Another really good tip as far as self-love is concerned is to protect ourselves against toxic situations and people, so that we do not place ourselves in negative environments and relationships that are detracting from our lives, but instead we surround ourselves by placing ourselves in positive situations and, if possible, removing ourselves, or at least protecting ourselves, from toxic situations which may be detracting or draining us of very valuable energy that we need to support our own life and our own growth, and to also support our health, so that we are not in so many draining situations and encountering toxicity on a continual basis, which can be very draining. And so that's quite a good self-loving tip to remember, to protect ourselves from toxicity wherever we can. And another good self-loving tip is to protect our mind from negative thoughts and beliefs, so that we learn to self-support ourselves through positive thoughts, positive beliefs about ourselves, and pour that loving energy into our own system through supporting ourselves through self-nurturing thoughts, uplifting thoughts, high frequency thoughts on a continuous basis. So it's quite a good idea to have continual positive and self-loving thoughts throughout the day and the night, so that we are kept in very high frequency levels continuously, and we are continuously being topped up by positive and affirming thoughts. So I hope those tips are helpful for you, and that they go some way to help you in your self-love walk. As always, stay safe and very happy. Bye bye.